Hello again, everybody. Let me introduce you to Jack and Sam. Not that Jack and Sam, this Jack and Sam, Jack Phillips and Samuel Pusey. Hi, guys, it's good to see you. Heroes, the pair of you. You got a vehicle, you filled it full of whatever you could find that would help on the front line in Ukraine, and you drove it there. Tell me about it.
So we originally got the idea during a night shift at work. Sam came up to me, asked me if I wanted to go on a road trip, which I said yes. We ended up planning the drive to Lviv with Driving Ukraine, who were really helpful from very start to finish. They obtain the vehicles, we get the donations, and then we use it to supply for the vehicles, fuel, things like that. We then contacted a few hospitals around Bristol and the area who very kindly donated out-of-date stock, which the NHS can't use, but is still perfectly fine to use.
And it was your idea originally?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's sort of an ill-conceived idea that I had on a night shift. You know, never advisable to make big decisions when you're sleep deprived, but I thought, I read an interesting news article about Ukraine. I've had no links to Ukraine previously, but I just read this article that sort of spoke to me. I felt that we could be doing more to assist, and Jack was the only person I knew crazy enough to do it with me, so I just sort of put the idea to him one night.
Okay. And so, Jack, tell me about the journey.
So we started in a little town called Banbury, which was just outside Oxfordshire. Split it over 3 days, from the 25th to the 28th of May. Just drove across to France.
It's a long way.
It's a very long way. Yeah. It was a long, long drive. We had to make up quite a lot of progress on the second day because we got held up sort of at the Eurotunnel, a bit of complications. So we stopped in Eindhoven on the first night, and then the second night it was from Eindhoven all the way over to Poland, which we stayed for the night there, and then made the crossing very early in the morning into Lviv. And
it can be tricky getting through those, getting into Ukraine, can't it?
Yeah, the border was quite heavily fortified, quite very secure border, so making that crossing was quite complex. Something that we did notice was in the approach, sort of the last 50 miles between the Ukrainian border in Poland, the roads were just deserted. There was no other vehicles on the road, pretty much. And actually getting to the border itself, it was a completely empty border, nothing really going in. We were pretty much the only vehicles on the border. But yeah, we made it through in one piece. Like I say, had a...
Those AK-47s can be a bit alarming, can't
Yes,
they?
yeah. Like I say, quite intimidating when you're surrounded by sort of heavily armed soldiers, but yeah.
And Jack, when you got there, they were very pleased to see you, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me what you've got in front of you.
So we have these patches here, which were given to us on the day which we arrived. So we were met by the mechanic who converts the vehicles, so they'll be spray-painted, camouflaged and equipped with heavy-duty tyres, things like that. And each one of us were given a patch like that, which is donated by members of the Ukrainian military, all of which are from different units, which is essentially the biggest sign of appreciation they can give you, which is a massive honour to be given that. And on the back it's signed of the date and the time that we arrived, which is really...
And you went to... You took the opportunity to go to the graveyard nearby when you were there.
That's right. I think that was probably the most poignant moment of the whole trip for us.
Yeah, sure.
It was the military cemetery in Lviv, which is constantly expanding. You know, hundreds and hundreds of graves there. Sort of soldiers are buried in chronological order from the time they're killed. So as you walk towards the back of the graveyard, you're getting to the soldiers who were most recently killed. And you're seeing faces younger than us. You know, you're seeing faces 18-year-olds, medics.
A young medic, a young girl.
Yeah, that one was particularly sort of impactful, wasn't it? Young medic killed. And all of the graves were like sort of proudly decorated by their families with the flags and sort of emblems from their military units, that kind of things. But like I say, when you got towards the back of the cemetery and you're seeing people who were only killed 3 days before we were stood there, you know, that was really sort of impactful to us.
And you drove away, I'm sure, or you left, with a heavy heart.
Absolutely, yeah. I think what stuck out for me the most is looking at a grave of a soldier who was born on the same day as me, same year, and that's really humbling. You know, we had a lot of laughs driving across there, but until you get there and you see what's actually happening, it doesn't really set in. And we sort of both admitted to each other in the car afterwards that it was, you know, as much as we'd have a big laugh driving across Europe, that this was real, this is what's happening. We'll definitely be going again.
OK, so what's the plan? How can people help?
So, I mean, to start with, if you were to just pull out your phone, Google Driving Ukraine, they're the charity that made it all happen. They depend on donations from people like yourselves out there. So, yeah, if you have anything you can spare, please do look up Driving Ukraine and feel free to make a donation. Like I say, me and Jack are personally planning on taking more vehicles out ourselves in the future, but we need the money to buy those vehicles. Yeah, simple as that, really.
That's how you feel about it?
That is exactly how I could put it.
OK, so when you went back to work in dispatch for ambulances, etc., what was it like returning back
It was
to normal?
So I'd got home the morning before, and it was just straight back to work. And it's a really humbling feeling to get back to a country that's safe, you know, a country where I can sleep peacefully in my house. You know, it's not the sound of an air raid siren, things like that. So it's very, very humbling.
Guys, we're out of time, but it's great to see you. Fabulous that you've been awarded those emblems, and come back and talk to us again.
Perfect.
Very
Thank you very
impressive.
much.
Thank you
Thank you
very much indeed. What does it mean to be a working person? Depends who you ask. Stay tuned for more here on Sky.